We have begun week two. Week two of the B&J fantasy recap video thing.
In the
Congratulations.
books.
Yes, congratulations to us to doing it a second time.
Woo!
Yeah, we have
Cheersies.
fans. All three of us are fans.
Yeah, fans. That's what I'd call them. So we have an agenda. Jake, I'll let you take it away since you're the orderly one.
Yeah, I'm the orderly one. So we're going to keep it a little shorter this week. The intent is to do a quick recap and just talk fantasy football and have a little bit more interactive league without just a couple of people ranting on the boards all the time. Maybe just get some weekly news out there and just keep everybody involved throughout the year. So that's the purpose of what we're trying to do here. And we'll start off with league announcements, I suppose. So, check the message board. There was a trade rules update that recently occurred, and it happened without a vote. And the idea there was last year we had 25-plus trades, and Bones and I were getting hit with a lot of emails and text messages for last-minute needs. And, we travel a lot, so we're not always available. So the idea there was instant trade results. So if you make a trade and you hit accept, that's going to reflect on your roster immediately without having to have commissioner approval. That's just going to happen. So there's not going to be that period any longer where you're waiting on a commissioner to hit the accept button for that to process. And what we're going to do to police that on the back end is just if something's funky, we'll go investigate it and punish accordingly. And I posted that all to the board. But the other news and notes, I guess, would be the roster reduction vote passed. I don't know if everybody saw that on the board, but next year we will only have 14 roster spots.
Woohoo!
So the draft will be just a smidge quicker, and the free agent pool, waiver pool, will be just a bit deeper.
Thank God. I've been pushing that for years now.
Well, I think the pain of the long draft finally got it done.
Yep.
Sometimes you just gotta bear with it. It'll come around.
So no more hoarding defenses.
Yeah, no more hoarding defenses. Shorty is our points leader with a lot of points. He's got 253, Jesus. So he leads by 20.
You're welcome.
Yeah, good for you, Shorty. Right now, the toilet, or the absolute bottom of the toilet, and thank God it's this person, is Ryan Flippo. So you suck, and we all love it. Outside of that, we're not going to please everybody with this. We're not going to cover every team. I know that was one of the things mentioned on the board. That's not going to happen because we want to keep this short. So we're going to talk about pretty much what we want to talk about. We're going to be a little bit more inclusive, but we're not going to hit every team. So with that, let's keep going.
Yeah, all fantasy football teams matter.
Yeah,
well, except Skinners.
Yes,
except Skinners. Yeah, and we're naturally going to talk about our own teams more. So just that's going to be a part of it. So if you get to face us this week, you're probably going to hear your team a little bit more than usual.
Yeah, or if you won or lost by an incredible margin or incredibly small margin, we'll probably also talk about you.
Yeah, speaking of GT, wow.
So, actually, speaking of Shorty, if you look at his team from last week, I've just pulled up here, he had, including his bench, he had, 10 or, almost all of his team was in the top 15 scores or 20 scores. So even if he started his best team, he would have 200 points.
Good Lord.
I think to make this more inclusive, we should say Ryan Short's team is the Oklahoma undrafted free agents. And,
good call.
Yep. Sorry.
Yep. That's fine. And GT's team is the Pinko Commie Bastards. An oldie but a goodie.
So Cam Newton.
Yeah.
All right. Without breaking down, that's one thing I skipped. The people who won last week would be Shorty, obviously. Stephanie, the Beantown Badasses, won. 3D, Dustin Daft won. I won, the Pikers. Shockingly, Flippo won. He's the Walker Texas Almeidas.
So close.
So close to just not. Yeah, by 0.2. Talk about bad beat of the week. Sorry, Casey. Noy beat Welter. Welter's Captain Pancake. Vogel beat Skinner. Thank God, too.
Yes.
Zayden won back-to-back, so he's 2-0. Good for him. John lost that game. The brother-to-brother battle, Bones came out on top of Sooner Terps Greg, who was undefeated last year and is trying for the reversal this year. Atomic Bombs won against Abe pretty handily. And Atomic Bombs is Aaron. Abe is fourth and forever. Jesse, congratulations. You won by almost 9 points over Kyle Skinner, Decker Like Rice. And Jesse, your team's Thyroid Storm. And last one, Brandon beat Doobie. Brandon's team's 4 Inches Hard. He won by almost 4 points.
I think I've beaten both Skinners now, back to back.
I think that's good.
Yeah. So I would like
You've
them
been mentioned
to.
a lot more than planned already.
Yeah.
Keep him in line.
Yeah. I mean, I think of I didn't go through every matchup, but of people who deserved to lose, who didn't, I would definitely be on the top of that list. I mean, I had a terrible week. A terrible week.
93 is not terrible anymore in a 12-team league with very thin free agency. I mean, it's on the low end, but it's not flippo low.
No, but like when both of your receivers, both of your running backs total, I think 9.5 points. Like I'm lucky. I was lucky to win that game. So if our website did what Yahoo did, it would probably say I would have lost to almost everyone else in the league. So.
Well,
not really.
It does do projections.
It's true.
Have to dig for them.
Yeah, but the team
Got
dynamics
next
confuse us.
projections there for you on that sheet, GT, if you want to look at that. But yeah, last week's I don't know how to find that.
For last week's what?
Projections, like what the line was.
So
there is, for those not very familiar with the website, if you go to the actual web app, there's a whole lot of options underneath reports and franchise. So you can find weekly results, fantasy previews, and fantasy recaps. So if you're looking for a little bit more story or context on your particular matchup, the league site auto-generates a lot of that. We used to post it to the main page, but it just got too cluttered.
they're fun to read. I like them. So
yeah, the previews have the line.
Say it again.
The previews have the line, and also some fun, facts, kind of like the recaps.
Yeah, they talk about trends and things like that. It's a good read if you've got a minute. Trade bait, I think I'm going to put that back on the main page. Somebody was mentioning and trying to find that today, actually, Noid was. So I'm going to put that out there. And we used to have it on the main page. And now that the trade market's going to get very active, we need to get that more visible. So I'm going to add that to the page after this. So it should be there by the time you see this.
Do you want to quickly summarize what you just told me about the waiver wire in case anyone else is curious about it? Or am I the only one that doesn't?
Yeah, so the waiver wire, I just went through and tried to figure it out. Jesse had some questions on it. So basically what to remember there at the waiver wire is as you're submitting your picks, it goes by round. So if you're looking to pick up multiple players, you need to submit multiple rounds. You can only get one player per round. That way everyone gets their shake at it. So, for example, if you wanted to pick up running back 1, you'd have to drop a guy in round 1, and then you might enter a couple of plan B, plan C options in case that guy's gone by the time it's your turn if you don't have the first waiver priority. And then, assuming your second round, something happened in round 1, and those players are probably gone. If you're looking for a deeper reach, like a sleeper, or maybe you're just hoping somebody dropped the second round, that's where you put that person in there so that you can get multiple people. Otherwise, you have to wait for the waivers process and then pick them up via normal free agency.
And when it says like I have pick number 12, that's out of the 2 divisions in my conference, right? It's not the entire league.
It's out of your conference, right? So just your free agent pool.
Okay. Makes sense. All right. If anyone else has any other questions, you can bother Jake.
I may or may not respond.
No. Yeah, I mean, while I've used the waiver wire before, it's still sort of a mystery how it works. Like I understand what the rules are, but it's
this one's a lot more manual
than
like ESPN.com. I mean, it's a lot because it's a custom league, so it's a lot more manual of a process. But once you get in there and get used to it, it's pretty easy to figure out. You just gotta. It's just brand new for us. We've been free for all for so long.
I mean, I do love I'm in one auction league, just real briefly, and that waiver wire requires a bid.
Nobody wants to hear about your auction league.
Whatever. All right, moving on.
Yeah, shut up. One thing about the waivers that I noticed last week was if you're using the app, I do believe it does. It has a hard time differentiating between the divisions. So, for instance, I had tried to pick up Tyrell Williams after the waivers process, and it said he was taken because Jeremy used a waiver pick on him, I believe. But I went to the website, and he was available because no one picked him up. So,
good note.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's something we might want to investigate. Maybe it was just a one-time thing, but
No, I mean, at least last year on the app, picking free agents was impossible because if that person was owned by anyone, even if they weren't in your conference, meaning like you could pick them up, the app was like, no. So, at least for
Okay.
me.
Good note. If it fails and you think that guy's available, get to a computer.
Yeah, don't do it on the app.
and I believe you can player search and it comes up correctly, but when it tries to do waivers and all that, it does have a hard time. At least whenever, after it's processed. So that's something to be aware of.
Okay, Jesse, you want to cover the survivor pool? You want to move on?
Yes. So I'm still not in it. As is Noid, we still lost week 1. Goddamn Patriots. I hate you so much. They're still going to win with their third string nobody quarterback this week, and it's just going to annoy the crap out of me. This week, it looks like we have some winners. Some new additions to the We Suck at Picking the Survivor Pool. We got Stephanie, who lost by picking Seattle. Germs, who lost by picking New Orleans. Never pick against my Giants. And John Cunningham, who picked Detroit. So sorry, gentleman and lady.
Welcome to the losers bracket.
Yeah. I feel like we should have like a toilet bowl version of the Survivor Pool where like you choose who's going to lose each week, but maybe that'll be for next year.
We still have a dozen people left in the pool, so it's still anybody's game, with the exception of the 5 already mentioned.
I'm just very proud to be part of the team that caused us to change the rule on the Survivor Pool. So,
what's that? The rule where we re-up it if everyone washes out?
Yeah. I feel like it was Washington. I feel like we all chose Washington like week 7.
Yeah, for anybody that's new to the we had that happen one year in the Survivor Pool where everyone flushed out in 1 week. So what we did is we put like Jacksonville because they won that week. We just reset everyone who lost on that week got reset and we started back over. Because it needs to be a true survivor. We're not going to do a 7-way split. Screw that.
Yeah. I don't think we need to do a pool picks update as of yet. We'll give another week or 2.
Nobody cares about the 5 people that are in it.
I know. All I know is that once my team starts to shin the bed, I will start slowly creeping up on Flippo as I do every single year. So I'm coming for you, Flippo. I doubt he watches these. But who knows?
He doesn't have time.
True.
So matchups next week. Let's see. I didn't get a chance to look at that ahead of time, but I know I'm playing Sooner Terp, so it'd be nice to pay him back for that. All those losses he dealt us last year, if I can win that one.
I've never been in a conference with him, so.
You've what?
I don't think I've ever been in a division or conference with Greg, so I'm lucky, I guess. I mean, the spreads are a little hard to read because it can't count team tight ends. So
yeah, the spreads don't. Yeah, that's good for Noid or anybody else that's new. The spreads don't take into account team tight end because it can't calculate it. It doesn't know how to project a team tight end. So there's a couple of pillow fights out there. You've got Kyle and Doobie, Decker like Rice and Doobie. Those guys collectively have a losing record. Who else?
I look forward to Chris Short scoring the most points in the league this week. Congratulations, Chris.
Yeah, if there's anybody that won't watch this, it's probably going to be Chris. Outside of that, there's the point spread's not very helpful. But we got 3D 2-0 going up against a 0-2 team. So either somebody's going to go either perfect or it's going to start to level out there in the Mountaineer division. Let's see what else. Noid is playing Casey. Noid and Casey's. So somebody's going to get 2 wins and start competing for John's spot atop the Coastal. Who's John play? Yeah, so next week I should probably prepare a little bit more. So John and Welter in the Coastal. So the Coastal's got some good fights. So the top end of that division is going to be decided, I think, this weekend for at least a week. Outside of that, it's still really early, so there's probably not a whole lot of speculation that needs to take place.
This week we'll test the theory, I feel, whether running backs matter in this league or not, because I have none. So.
Well, there's always the trade market. So
hey, everyone listening, I am open for trades.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm willing
I'm
to trade.
also.
One thing you got to remember in trading in this league, and Flippo's the master of this, you pretty much have to lose the trade if you really want it to go through. Somebody has to lose, otherwise it won't go through. It's very rare that you have an even trade happen because somebody's going to be in love with their player and not want to let it go. Flippo, I think last week was trading like 6 players for 2 or 3 players for 1, and that's how he was getting those things to happen. And he was trading name brands for name brands, so he was taking just little incremental steps up, and it seemed to work for him. He got a boatload of trades last year, but so far the trade offers I've seen come through have been lopsided, but they're not anything I would like to partake in because generally that means I'm going to shoot myself in the foot accepting a trade.
Yeah, I mean,
My problem is I have like one player I can trade that's any good right now, and I don't want to trade him.
Yeah,
that's the deal. You got to, if you've got like a top end player, you've got to divest that into multiple positions, or if you've got multiple decent players, you got to trade it all for that guy.
Yeah.
And then hope that you do good on the waiver wire. Now there have been some even trades in the past. It's just not frequent.
What you mean? My Matt Asiata for Demaryius Thomas trade wasn't even.
Wow, bring that up. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like I have to either Cam Newton and Antonio Brown are going to carry my team for the rest of the year, or I'm going to have to trade one of them. So we'll see what happens. But thank you, Danny Woodhead, for 1.5 great weeks. You were the best.
He is the best. Well, guys, that's pretty much the entire recap. We said we'd keep it to 15 minutes. I think we're about there.
Yeah.
Good luck to everybody. Congratulations to Shorty for having such a dominant week over GT.
God damn it.
We should probably give the honorable mention to Aaron Miller there with his 34.5 point victory over Abe. I just now noticed we forgot to mention that. Outside of that, thanks.
All right. Peace out, everybody.
Trade offer, Jesse.
All right. They're coming.